Hello, welcome to today's share. I'm going to be speaking about manifestation. Have you ever tried to manifest and it went ugh? It just didn't happen. Well, there's three aspects to manifesting that perhaps you're not aware of. You've probably watched The Secret or read the book. You've probably watched other people tell you how to manifest, but there's still something that's not quite happening for you that's causing you to struggle to manifest. Well, as I say, there's three aspects to manifesting. First one is your old habits. What you do has an impact on what you can achieve and what you can manifest into your life. Now, old habits can be continually asking for something that basically isn't in alignment to what you believe. So the second aspect of manifesting is believing. You have to believe it's something you can get, that you can have. And then the final aspect of manifesting is letting go. Don't keep asking. So let's look at the first aspect. What old habits do you have that will interfere with what you want? Well, for me, one of the things I used to do is I'd ask for something, but to actually get it to materialize, you have to take action. You can't just sit and wait for it to arrive. And that's one of the things I discovered with The Secret. They forgot to tell you, you have to take action. You can't just sit and wait. It doesn't work. So if you procrastinate, if you hesitate, if you continue doing things that won't serve you because they're the opposite to what you want. So say you want more money in your life, but you continue to overspend and then worry about overspending, what are you telling the universe? You're worrying about not having, of being in lack. So the universe can't give you what you're asking for, more money, because you're focusing on lack. So old habits. The things you do without being consciously aware of them, or the things you do that don't serve you, like procrastinating. If you don't take the actions to get the better job, if you don't take the actions to increase the number of clients you have, if you don't take the action to increase your prices so that you can bring more money in that way, the universe can't help you. You have to do actions. So look at what you're doing that's going to stop you from achieving your outcome. Then, secondly, is what do you believe? Now, you might be asking for more money, you might be asking for a better home, you might be asking for a new car, you could even be asking for a pay rise or a better job. But when you ask for whatever you're asking for, what are you saying to yourself in your mind? Are you believing that you can have that better job? Are you believing that you can have more money? Are you believing that you can actually get a pay rise? Because what you think about your situation, what you think about the outcome will have an impact on what you manifest. I love using this story because it's so obvious that you need to believe. You need to let the universe work with you to create the outcome. And the story I'm going to share with you is one that actually happened to me. I needed to find a new home in the space of 3 weeks. That's all I had, was 3 weeks. And I needed to find somewhere, but I didn't know where I wanted to live. I just knew I needed to find a new home. So I started looking. I took action. Instead of just sitting back and saying, yeah, I want a new home, don't know where I want it, this is the kind of home I want, send it to me, I started to take action. I started to look through properties to rent because I wasn't prepared to buy, because I don't know or didn't know at the time where I wanted to live. I let the universe guide me to the best place. So I started taking action, looking at properties to rent that were in a certain location, because I was living on the coast. I was debating whether I wanted to come back towards London. So I decided I would give the option to the universe and say, find me the best place to live, my ideal place to live. So I looked on the coast. I also looked obviously more inland towards London, but I knew I didn't want to live in London itself. I also knew that there were certain areas of outside of London I didn't want to live. I wanted to be able to get into London, if I lived in London, easily. So it wasn't a case of a lot of train changes or a lot of having to drive to get to a station, then getting a train, then getting the tube or something like that. It was a case of find me the best place to get me into London easily, whether it's sitting on a train for an hour and a half up from the coast, or whether it's driving 5 minutes down the road, getting on the train and getting into London without having to change. They were the criteria, other than that I wanted somewhere there was greenery around me. And my cat had to be able to go out. That was my criteria. And that's what I told the universe. And that's what I started looking for. Within a space of a week, I'd found the home I'm living in now. It's in beautiful countryside. It's close to the village. It's close to a station. And it suits my cat down to the ground. She's become a farm cat and she loves it. But I love the energy of this place simply because it was my ideal location, my ideal home. But I had to take action to get to see that this was available, because how would I know it was available? How would I know that I needed to apply to come and see the place, to be able to get this place? You have to take action. But in the taking of action, you also have to believe that it's possible. So taking action, believing, not stopping myself from taking that action by sitting back and doing nothing, or thinking that the universe will bring it when I'm just, glancing through, not really taking it seriously. There was a sense of urgency, but then The intention was to find my new home in less than 3 weeks. That was my intention. So the urgency was in the intention of a time frame. Sometimes you don't have to put the time frame on, but in my case, I had to have a time frame to it. So that empowered the universe to ensure that the place that was going to be available was going to be available in my time frame. I wasn't then going to have to move again. That was not my intention. My intention was to find my ideal home and for me to be able to move into it within 3 weeks. But having set the intention, taking the action, not letting my old habits get in the way of sitting and doing nothing or procrastinating, not taking it seriously, I then had to let go of the outcome. I had to trust the universe, the divine source, whatever you want to call it, God, whatever you want to call it. I had to let go and trust that the universe would take me to that point where I could see my ideal property and be able to move into it within my 3-week time frame. And that's what it did. It showed me the property. It showed me quite a few properties, in fact. But interestingly, none of them come back to me about availability until after I'd been to see this one. And it was almost as the universe was saying, well, you've got this one. Are you prepared to take it? Or do you want to continue looking? Having been given this property, why would I want to continue looking? The universe had given me what I asked for. So no, I was able to go back and say, thanks very much for your response, but I've now got somewhere that's ideal for me. So manifestation isn't just about thinking and desiring and doing nothing. You have to take action. You have to believe in that you can achieve it. And you have to let go of the outcome and trust the universe to provide. If you don't succeed, there could be things that in your habits that are stopping you from creating. There could be things that you're not doing and not following through on in your belief system. You have to make sure that you believe you can achieve. And then obviously, if you keep asking, you're not trusting the universe to provide. You're actually stating to it, well, actually, I've asked you for this, but I don't believe you can produce it. So, it's going to think, well, do you really want it or don't you want it? So consequently, you don't always get what you ask for because you don't believe it, you don't believe the universe, and you don't take the necessary action. So if you're struggling to manifest or struggling to maintain manifesting what you desire, look to your habits, look to what you believe, have that intention of letting the outcome go, but believe that you can achieve it. I thank you for watching this